Hi, guys. Today we are going to be talking about chemical and physical changes and really what's the difference between a physical and a chemical change. So, physical properties and chemical properties are different. So, physical properties are things that we're going to look at, things that we can see, such as color, shape, texture, odor, also things like melting point or boiling point, and also states of matter, like solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Physical properties are going to be what you would get after it reacts with something. The key word there is reacts. Anytime you have a reaction, it's generally creating something new. So things are going to react with acid, things will react with oxygen, and things will react with flame. Physical changes are going to be anything that changes shape or form without turning into something new. Taking a piece of paper and tearing it in two. I now have two pieces of paper. Taking a rock and smashing it into dust. It is still pieces of rock now in just smaller portions. Whereas a chemical change is going to be when you create something new with new physical or chemical properties. So examples of chemical change would be things like a rusting bike or a rusting nail, tarnished silverware or silver, that's like this thing down here. That would be an example of tarnished silver that should be shiny. Perming your hair or relaxing your hair, cooking food, burning wood, again, anything that has to do with fire, gasoline, igniting, and hydrogen peroxide bubbles. Anything with bubbles is usually chemical change. So there are what we say the 6 signs of a chemical change, and we remember it with a little acronym, and that's going to be here in the black. City girls or guys love their new phones. So the C stands for color change. If you were writing notes, I would write the things that are in red right now. So I'd write C stands for color change. Again, this is an unexpected color change. If I take toast and I cook it and I put it on the stove too long and it burns, it turns black. So that is now a new thing. That's a good example of a color change. A bad example would be Kool-Aid. Everybody always wants to say Kool-Aid is chemical, which it is not. We put color and food dye and sugar in water, and now we have colored sugar water. So that is actually a physical change. Nothing new was created. The G stands for gas production. We'll know gas is produced because we'll see bubbling or fizzing in our chemical reaction. Think Alka-Seltzers. L is going to be anything that produces light unexpectedly on its own, such as things like fireworks or glow sticks. The T is going to stand for a temperature change. Anytime you've had an unexpected temperature change, you are releasing or absorbing energy. So putting a pot on the stove and turning the stove on is an expected temperature change. Therefore, that is actually physical. An unexpected temperature change would be something like putting 2 liquids together and it freezing. N is going to stand for anytime a new substance is created. P is going to stand for a precipitate or precipitate, which is when you put 2 liquids together and it forms a solid. The one that most people are very familiar with are going to be with babies. Babies drink milk. That milk goes to their stomach and hits their stomach acid in their stomach. What happens is they then burp up chunks of solids. So 2 liquids together formed chunky white solids. A lot of the times the precipitates are white, but they can be different colors also. The magical one, which is not really one of our normal signs, but it's something that you can always help you figure out, is if you've had a change of odor. Anytime there's a change of odor, you can guarantee there's been a chemical change. When you bake a cake, you can smell the cake throughout the house. Same thing for unpleasant odors like rotten eggs or spoiled food. If you talk about rotten eggs and spoiled food, you've had color change and gas produced, but you can smell it also. So it's just kind of what I call one of the extras.